Christian McCaffrey. I'm a little devil, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew Christian McCaffrey was going to go over the top with praise. So yesterday when he came out, someone asked him a question about is Christian McCaffrey excited about being here on this team? And he was like, yeah, of course, weapons coach. So I said, hey, Christian, what kind of quarterback are the 49ers getting in Sam Darnold? Just teed it up for him. And let me read to you what he said. Sam is great. He can do everything. He can make any throw. He's smart. He's able to pick up things quickly and do his job. Does exactly what he is told all the time and then adds a little flair to it too. I got the privilege to play with Sam. Not enough, unfortunately. I had some injuries. But he's a guy who's just a gamer and he's tough as hell. He has played through a lot and never made excuses. Happy he's here. John Elway apparently is who the Niners got to be there. Wow. I mean, what more could you say about a guy? He's everything. Literally great and good at everything, according to Christian McCaffrey, who's a really good friend of Sam Darnold's and went to the Warrior game with him the other night. This is bad news for Trey if he's reading this. I wouldn't want to read this if I were him.
Okay. First of all, he's not going to shit on him, right? He's not going to say, look at his numbers. He sucks. I mean, you wouldn't expect him to say that. So let's give him a little bit of credit. But I think you're making an important point, especially that they went to the game together and all that.
Yeah.
It seems like every quarterback on the 49ers has friends and defenders except for Trey Lance. It's just like Trey Lance, they lock him in the broom closet. You know what I mean? He's in the broom. He's Harry Potter. He's in the broom.
He's Harry Potter. Or he's like Private Pile, if you remember Full Metal Jacket, which I don't think you do, but anyone watching, he was the one guy in the platoon that no one wanted to be in the platoon. So it could be him.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, because this is really a Trey Lance question, not a Sam Darnold question, right?
True, yeah.
I don't know what people have against Trey Lance. I mean, does he have body odor? You know what I mean?
Is he insecure? Does he try too hard? Is he a close talker? You know, some people get a little too close to you when they talk and then they don't brush their teeth and you're like, dude, you need to get out of my face. He could be that. Although, actually, all of my interactions with him, I don't like a close talker. But all of my interactions with him he's been quite charming, and he seems like he's been well raised. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. But again, this is a case to me. They love Purdy. Now people are in love with Darnold, and we'll get to Darnold in a minute. But no one comes out really and defends this kid, including the general manager, who's always harping on he's not healthy. They got him hurt. How could you blame him for breaking his leg? It's kind of insane. No one in that organization defends him. Now, you asked Lynch yesterday, have Trey Lance's people asked for a trade, and he said no. That may or may not. That may or may not be true. I don't know.
You know what I learned after the fact that really complicates matters? Trey Lance's people are also Sam Darnold's people.
Oh my God!
They have the same agent. So again, from Trey's perspective, who is on my side here? My own representation is representing the guy I'm competing with this offseason. So I mean, they don't give a damn who wins that competition. Creative CAA wins either way. Jimmy Sexton wins either way.
Maybe you should get another agent.
I think you should get another agent.
Okay, let's talk about Sam Darnold. Because here's the thing, Iggy. I've never really seen him play, okay? Yeah. So let's do a little primer in Sam Darnold. Is he as great as CMC says he is?
No. Here's the thing with Sam Darnold. They're trying to make him out like he's the next Alex Smith. He was on the Jets. They're terrible. He was on the Panthers. They had a bad coach who got fired. He's been in bad situations. He's never been in a good team like this. You know, Trey Lance was given everything. They gave him the job. He didn't have to earn it. He's been on the 49ers. Couldn't do anything with it. Darnold hasn't been in a situation like that. Let's see if he can do what Brock Purdy did. I think that's what some people are thinking. But if you go back to USC, he had one good year at USC. And then his last year at USC, he threw a bunch of picks and committed a bunch of fumbles, which is what he does in the NFL. He's a turnover machine. And it started in college at USC, which you can't say is a bad situation for a quarterback. So I would think he's just a mirage that people got excited about because people always get excited about USC quarterbacks.
Interesting. Well, if he's a turnover machine on the Niners, if he gets to play, he'll play himself right out of the lineup.
Immediately.
I would rather have a mediocre quarterback than a good thrower who fumbles away the ball or throws picks. You can't have a guy like that. They lose games.
Oh, yeah. They were saying that he had like a career renaissance. He won 4 of his last 5 games. In his last start, he threw for 35 yards, 5 of 15, 2 picks, 2 fumbles. Like, he's a disaster once a month or more. So if the Niners really think that he's going to be the next Alex Smith, remember him 10 years ago? What he did was he stopped turning the ball over the ball entirely.
Right.
He became very conservative. I don't know that Sam Darnold can do that. I don't know that he can do that, or even if that's what you want.
And the other thing I'd like to point out, so the Niners are excited about this guy based on 6 games. Where have we heard that before? They sell themselves on quarterbacks based on very little data.
It's true.
And in fact, hold on, and they've soured on Trey Lance based on very little data.
That's right.
In every other regard, they're really have great foresight and great judgment about players. When it comes to quarterbacks, I think they're cuckoo.
Yeah. What they say is like, Brock Purdy was good for 8 games last year. He's our franchise quarterback. Sam Darnold was good for 6 games last year. Let's make him, the backup quarterback who could become a franchise quarterback too. Trey Lance hasn't been exactly what we wanted for 4 starts. Let's get him out of town. Like, whoa.
Right.
Whoa.
Right. It seems very fickle, doesn't it?
Yeah, and when you put it like that, it's like there's no wonder that you don't have a franchise quarterback. I mean, franchise quarterbacks take time. Joe Montana, it's not like Bill Walsh drafted him in 1979, threw him on the field, was like, "Oh, you suck," and then went to someone else. I looked it up. He started Joe Montana 3-9 in his career, and then he took off like when he was 25 years old. Steve didn't take off till he was freaking like 29, 30. So the Niners are very, very impatient. And why would you draft Trey Lance if you were impatient in the first place? Everyone said you had to be patient with him. Anyway.
And it shows, and we're going to get back to Bill Walsh later. Bill Walsh, who could be very impulsive and emotional, was very patient with quarterbacks because he understood what it took.
Yeah. And quarterbacks are a little bit different than the other football players, if you think about it.
Yeah.
They're different. They wear different colored jerseys in practice. You can't touch them. They're different, and you have to treat them differently, and the Niners treat them like they're just any other position on the team.
Yeah.
They do. All Niners is completely off topic, but I'm curious on your guys' opinion on artificial intelligence, specifically in college students using it to write papers. Dad, have you heard of this? I'm sure my dad doesn't know about this.
Tell me about it.
There's a new technology, it's called ChatGPT, and you can go online and say, write a 1,000-word essay for me on this topic, and it'll do it for you in like 30 seconds, and it's good. Like, artificial intelligence is spooky good now, and it's making it harder for, kids just cheat in college. Like, that didn't do their homework. They can do this instead of plagiarizing. They can get a literal robot to write a story for them, and it's good, an essay. So that's a problem.
It makes it very hard for a professor.
Very hard. And if
you know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What I would have done in my classes, what I would have done, again, I've never confronted anything like this. I would have made one of the papers oral. You come in, and we're going to talk for 20 minutes.
I like
Here's your topic. I'm going to give you the topic when you walk in the room.
That's genius. I like that.
When I took my doctoral orals at Stanford, boy, that was scary, Iggy. What happened was I had to wake up that morning. It was in the afternoon, the orals, and the department secretary called me like at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and said, "This is your topic." And I had to come in and present it at my doctoral orals in about 4 hours preparation. I got to tell you, Iggy.
Very stressful.
It was very stressful. And plus the orals themselves, were stressful. But if I were a teacher and I was dealing with this AI stuff, I would say your midterm is oral. We'll schedule it in 20-minute segments.
I think what's interesting about AI for the implications on sports media is they could essentially replace beat writers, game stories, all that kind of stuff that doesn't have a lot of style. You could get a robot to do, what happened.
Could the robot go in the locker room of the clubhouse and talk to some guy after a loss?
No, they couldn't. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of those game stories are kind of robotic anyway. A robot could
They
replace
are.
him if you don't have a little flair. If you don't have a little UCLA English flair.
You know what? Maybe some robots are writing them right now.
Mr. Bell says, I don't want to hear about Sam until Trey is off the team. Well, get ready to hear Kittle talking about him and Juszczyk talking about him. Rod Simmons says Cohn's wine bet is better than Skip and Shannon's cases of dew. Yeah, we make some serious wine bets over here. Do we have any?
No, we don't
right
have
now?
anyone going. No.
Bobby D says if you're
because we were going to bet on whether they trade Trey Lance in the draft, and I was supposed to take one side, and I forgot.
Yeah, you didn't feel like just giving me a bottle of wine. I'm gonna have to earn this. That was an obvious one. Bobby D says if you're mad about spending 3 first-round picks on Lance, pretend you spent them on Purdy. Grant. Some of us remember you were on the Purdy train. I got caught up in it. Then he got hurt. He's not a franchise quarterback in my opinion. 49ers daddy. What?
Whoa. When you say Grant was on the Purdy train, we both were in a particular sense. What a story. Remember, we're journalists. We want to tell good stories, and that was Cinderella in football.
Yeah.
I think we both think a lot of him.
Yeah.
But there are 2 caveats. He's hurt. What will he be when he comes back? And when he comes back over the long haul, is he at the elite level that you need? We don't know. That's not saying we don't like him. Okay.
Also, yeah, he has a place on this team for a while. He's under contract for a while. He's at least the perfect backup. He could be more. But the thing about him is, think about this. What if he were on the Panthers last year and Sam Darnold were on the Niners? What would you think of Purdy and Darnold? Like, I think a lot of what we like about Purdy is that he was on the best team in the league.
Yeah.
So let's see what Darnold looks like on the best team in the league. Papa Cohn bringing the heat today and here for it, says 49ers daddy. Bringing the heat. Oh, he's just getting started. Prediction on Game 5, says Irfan.
Hey, listen, I read this morning that this Fox has a broken finger.
Yeah.
On his shooting hand. So, I mean, and that he might not even play. So let's put it like this. If he can't play or if he plays but he's limited, forget it. It's over with. It's over with.
Fish and Chip says, front office love the fans, John, about quarterback's distraction. It's a technique.
Maybe.
Maybe.